What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. We have an information video for you about a recall that the KTM group has issued for the Braketec front caliper on affected Husqvarna and Gasgas bikes. So these would be the 22 through 24. We don't think the 25 is affected. And the visual indication on your caliper as to whether or not it is part of the recall is this little round boss here, this casting mark here. There's one on this side as well. If you have these two casting marks on your caliper, then you're instructed to contact your dealer with your VIN number, and they will look it up and make a determination as to whether or not yours is affected. And if so, it will need to be replaced. The affected calipers can crack at the pin bosses. So there's a pin here, that's a fixed pin, and then the caliper moves on that, and then there's a removable pin here, and that holds the pads. So there have been documented instances where there's some cracking that will form here at the bridge in between the body and then the boss here for the pin area. And so that's a worst case scenario. Now we have this caliper off one of our bikes. We have a couple of bikes with this, and we're going to continue to just leave these on the bikes and run them. I'd like to do a test, a long-term durability test, to make a determination as to whether or not they do show some signs of cracking. Now we'll obviously check these for safety's sake quite often, take a look at it. We'll make sure to use a magnifying glass and really get in there and see if there's any cracking forming. But you can see this one has had some hard use. This bike's been down to Baja many times, and it's been whacked around and beat up pretty bad. You can see some scarring here, some scratching. So we don't use our bikes lightly. We use and abuse them, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of durability this gets, and we'll make some reports from time to time back. So in our determination, this is a safety item, and you should do what the recall notice instructs you to do. We are absolutely not recommending or advising anybody to do what we're doing, but it is our curiosity that's driving us to try to just do a long-term durability test, maybe to help assuage people's fears. I don't think the sky is falling. We're continuing to ride our bikes with these calipers. We are not going to park them, and we're not treating this as an emergency. This is kind of a long-term thing. I think you should inspect your bike. As of watching this video and learning about this notice, I think you should go out and look at your caliper and make sure that it is intact, that there's no cracking. And if you have no cracking, then you could consider, under your own judgment, as to whether or not to continue riding on as normal or make some change with your riding habits based on this information. But like I've said, we're going to just keep beating up this bike with this caliper. We're not going to change it, and we're going to monitor it. So if you have any questions about this, leave them below. Your dealer will have more information, and will give you a copy of the written text of the bulletin if you ask for it. So hope that helps anybody who has any questions about this issue. Like, subscribe, go out, get some adventure.